Hi, hello everyone. Good evening. Welcome to our webinar this evening. So, our webinar this evening is estate planning for business owner. What is your best exit strategy for your business? So, before we start with our show this evening, I am your moderator for today. My name is Nurul. I am the branding and marketing executive for Wealth Vantage Advisory. So today we have our three panelists, our three beautiful women from Wealth Vantage Advisory. So okay, the first one is Vivian, and then Felicia and Eyvonne. So the three of them is our licensed financial planner from WVA. So yeah, can you Felicia introduce yourself to our audience today?
Hi everyone, I'm Felicia here. I'm a licensed financial planner from Wealth Vantage Advisory. So I wish everyone have a good night and also enjoy what we're sharing later.
Okay, thank you, Felicia. The second speaker of tonight is Vivian. Hi, Vivian.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us this evening. I hope that today's webinar will give you some idea how to plan on your estate planning, especially for business owner. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. And then the third speaker of our show tonight is Miss Eyvonne.
Hi everyone, good evening. Yeah, my name is Eyvonne. I'm actually from Kota Kinabalu, and thank you for taking your time to join us tonight. And I'm a licensed financial planner with Wealth Vantage Advisory. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Eyvonne, Vivian, Felicia. Okay, so I am not supposed to talk very much tonight. So so for our agenda tonight, we will start first with Mrs. Vivian Chin on the introduction about estate planning for business owners.
Okay, thank you, Kai. Okay, let me share my screen first.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for everyone joining us this evening. So after the three of the webinar, we believe that most of you have a better understanding on how estate plans works, the importance of having an estate plan, tools that you can use in estate plan. Okay, tonight we will walk you through on estate planning for business owner, how business owner can plan for their exit strategy and succession plan when the times comes. Okay, let us begin to share on this. Commonly, you can see that there's a few types of business owner in Malaysia. You can see most popularly will be sole proprietorship, and the second one will be private limited, which is what we call a Sendirian Berhad, and the other one will be the limited liability partnership LLP, which is the most hot topic on this period of time. Let us have a general idea on the types of the business owner in Malaysia. The sole proprietorship, the most traditional way from form a business structure in Malaysia, and normally you can see that this type of sole proprietorship, they were owned by just one person, and what we always say that one leg kid lah, they have to handle most of the things in his or her company. Okay, the second type will be the private limited company, which is the Sendirian Berhad, commonly known as a private limited company. There will be some shareholder in one company, in that particular company, just like our firm, Wealth Vantage Advisory Sendirian Berhad. Okay, the third one, the most popular one, what we always discuss about the LLP. It is relatively a new corporate structure governed under Limited Liability Partnership Act of 2012. It's a hybrid of conventional between partnership and private limited. Okay. So, okay, when a person set up their own business, surely when times they gather their capital or even earn some of the profit from the business, then sorry, as time comes, when they reach a certain period of time, they might have some idea to some thoughts that they would like to exit from the business because one of the reason is they wanted to retire, or maybe they have another they wanted to pass their legacy to their family, or even the succession for another person. So the objective of the business succession plan, what we always there's a very bahasa lah for Chinese. What we say that is 前人栽树，后人乘凉, which means that one generation plants the trees in the whole shape another generation means that the legacy will live on. Okay, so the tools that you can use in the business estate plan, there's three types that we can today we're going to discuss it. The first one will be the trust. The second will be the buy-sell arrangement. The third one will be the family foundation. Okay, let's discuss about the first one, the tools for the business estate plan. What is a trust? Generally, trust when one person, we call it a settlor, transfer the ownership of the specific property, which you can see over here. Is you can have a better idea. They transfer the ownership of the special particular property or even an asset to another person, which is the trustee, who holds the legal rights to look after it in the favor of special person, or we call it a beneficiary, according which the wishes in the trustee. Okay, so you can see that, and then the purpose of it is mainly the trigger whenever this happen is because of death happen, or total permanent disability, or critical illness, or comatose, or even missing. The objective of setting up a trust is because you would like to set some education fund for your family members, like maybe your grandchildren, or even your great-great-grandchildren, or living maintenance for your family, or medical treatment for your own self, or charity, or even a critical protection, or settlement of debts. This is part of the objective of setting up a trust. Okay. And then types of trusts, there's two types. One is a living trust, which is you created during your lifetime. And the second one is the testamentary trust, which arise upon the death of the testator, which is specified in your wills. Okay, the second tool, which is power of attorney. It's a legal document which allows a donor to appoint another donor to act on behalf of the donor in any living or physical or non-physical assets such as land, property, share, money, or even an intellectual or property. It can be made revocable or irrevocable. Okay, the second types of the tools will be a buy-sell arrangement. It's a legal binding contract that stimulates how a partner shares of the business may be reassigned if that partner pass away or otherwise leave the business. Okay, and you can see it much more clearer through this picture here. The owner A and the owner B, they come to agreement to have a buy-sell arrangement by buying some insurance premium, and each of the owner pays the other's insurance premium to the insurance company. If one of the owner, maybe owner B, pass away, the person who take over, which is or even the executor, will get receive the amount of the pay out the money. and then maybe one of the owner would like to sell, or even want to sell off the business, or even discontinue the business. One of the owner can be use that money to pay off that particular amount of money to the other owner. Okay. And what is a family? The third tools will be the what is a family foundation. Usually is established by the founder to hold an asset with the objective of not only preserving the business and the family wealth, but also the growth and distribution of the family wealth generated by it to the family members. The founder can be more than one founder, and the law does not state the maximum. Okay, you can see that through this, have a better picture on how it works on family foundation. A founder can cater constitute a document, and then appoint the counsel or officer, secretary to manage the family foundation, and through in the family foundation, there are some of the asset, maybe is your business, or maybe some of the asset that can generate income, and then all this income will be putting into this family foundation. And when times comes, or even in the constitute or document, they sit down that during some period, a certain period of time, the money or the income or allowance will be distributed accordingly to the beneficiary. So I have done my my presentation. I will pass it back to Kai. Kai, perhaps that you can take over from my side.
Okay. I have one question actually from your presentation just now.
Yes.
So
yes.
just before you are explaining about one of the tools for business estate planning, which is to set up a foundation. So do you know what is the minimum amount that we can set up a foundation if a business owner want to set up a foundation? What is the minimum amount?
Okay, there's no stated amount. It's according to the trustee company to to sum out the amount of to set out the foundation fees. Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
So for the foundation, how long can the foundation last?
There's no limitation on that part.
Oh, there's no
Yeah, it
limitation.
will long.
So
Yeah,
no
it will
matter what
last.
country
Yeah.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, it
Yes.
will
Yes.
last like forever, something
Lifetime.
like that lah.
Yes. Yes.
If the management is good, then it can last
Then
longer.
it will last longer. Example, you take an example like Hilton. There's they have some foundation, so it's already how many years, I think more than 80
Yeah.
years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so this is what we say, a foundation. So there's no time limit on that part. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Vivian. What an eye-opening explanation, and I love your example about the Clinton Foundation. So okay, then our next panelist is Miss Felicia Lim. So Miss Felicia, we talk about the first case study in estate planning for business owner. So Felicia, you can start to share your
Okay.
screen.
So my part, okay, so I will actually share about something to do or something that can be done, okay, using in a private limited company setup, okay. So in this case study, I will call this company as Sendian Berhad, so that you guys can easily link it back, okay. So first, okay, let me share you some background, okay, on this Sendian Berhad. So in fact, this company, this Sendian Berhad, actually established for more than 10 years, and it also already went through the up and down of the economic, and currently they actually have the factory and the property in the company as a company asset, and also they have their own vehicle, and also with the substantial amount of the cash and investment in hand. So let me show you who is the behind the scene, the successor. Okay, there are actually four of them. Okay, so first one we actually talking about Mr. A, which is holding 30% of the shareholding for this Sdn Bhd. So Mr. B, okay, 25%. Okay, Mrs. C actually 25% as well. And also they have the last one, okay, which is Miss D, which is actually holding 20% of it. Okay, so then let me give you some background of these four shareholder. Okay, so Mr. A actually a little bit matured. So it's actually already have established family where the adult is already a working adult. Okay, and also the children is actually a working adult. Whereas for Mr. B and C, okay, because of they actually putting very hard, they work very hard, okay, into this business. In fact, they actually married quite late, okay. That's why they actually currently have the minor children from the age of to 5, okay, to 14. Whereas for Miss D, okay, she's actually quite happy with her current lifestyle, okay, and she didn't plan to have any children, okay, after that. Okay, so when one day, okay, the case is actually started when one day they're actually having the shareholder meeting. Then after that, they start to ask each other, okay, hey, what is the plan that we're supposed to be having, okay, or while they're actually checking the company vision and mission, okay, how they should supposed to be go about, okay, just like what Vivian shared just now in the pie chart, okay, they are actually at the stabilized, okay, at the mature stage already. So that's where they actually started to thinking all this, okay. After the meeting, they actually conclude that, okay, they actually wanted to grow, okay, between the shareholder, because based on their experience, they are actually shareholder come in and also leaving. So, but okay, throughout the whole journey of the business, they actually find that if these are the four shareholder that they can work really well, and they wanted to continue the business between the same shareholder. Okay, then also they also agreed that okay, it's just in the unfavorable things happens, okay, any triggering event happens, like for example, if let's say one of them actually pass away, okay, or disability happens, okay, among them, okay, or even when they wanted to come to retired age, okay, so they can actually buy back. Okay, the one that wanted to leave the company can actually, the remaining shareholder can actually buy back the share and also give the money to the beneficiaries, okay, of the living shareholder. Okay, with that, they actually come to a conclusion that they start to approach, okay, a company like us, okay, that's where we also come to the engagement. Okay, then after that, what we do further is we actually talk to each of them to understand what is actually they having, okay, beside them company. Okay, so this is actually the summary of what they have. Okay, they will definitely have different type of asset classes, okay, according to their life experience and also from their background. Okay, so then after that, with the analysis that we done, in fact, we actually give them some scenario plannings, okay, to let them understand, hey, what is it will impact them, okay? So in this case, we actually show them, okay, because Mr. A is the one that more matured one. That's why we actually using, okay, how if Mr. A go first, all right. Then also, because some of the shareholders also trying to understand, why can't I just do will would do instead of the buy sell arrangement, or what other arrangement that is possible, okay, as the alternative. Okay, so that's where we actually come up with the 3 categories. Okay, first will be they got not enough time to finish the whole process, okay, and leave anything is without will, not even with any special arrangement, that means no paperwork done. Okay, then the second situation is they able to have their own personal view. Okay, and the third thing is, okay, they will be able to have the buy-sell agreement. So this is what going to happen in the shareholding for the Sdn Bhd. Okay, in the first situation, okay, the appointment of the administrator of the executive. Okay, at our previous seminar, we actually did show the audience that, okay, the one that without will, okay, they have to be appointed among the beneficiaries. Okay, so in this case will be the Mr. A's spouse and also children. Okay, uh, right, and also second situation, it will be, okay, according to whoever that appointed by Mr. A as per his wish. right? And also buy-sell agreement is everything is already pre-upon during lifetime. Okay, so everything will be handled by the trustee. Okay, so second, distribution manner. Okay, without will, it will be according to Distribution Act 1985. Right, with will, then it will be more straightforward. It will be according to whoever that Mr. A wanted to put it in. Okay, then buy sell agreement is actually it will be according to what's spelled out in the trust deed. And I think just let the audience have more understanding. Okay, so the distribution portion, in fact, it will be for those that without will, it will be according to the spouse, 1/3 for this case for Mr. A, and also 2/3 for the children, right? And also with will, it will be according to their last wish. Okay, so for buy sell again, it will be follow the buy sell agreement, buy sell arrangement, and also the trust deed, whatever arrangement that they already pre-agreed before that. Okay, and also we further trigger them because if let's say we wanted to put inside the will, okay, will you wanted to directly will it to the shareholder? Then after that, they are like, all of them actually stand ahead. Then after that, they actually got no answer. Then second answer, that if let's say you're willing to put it into the will, okay, how if your shareholder don't pay you? So these are also things that we actually trigger them, ask them to think ahead, okay, how if all this happens, okay? So then after that, we come to a conclusion that the first method, okay, without you, it could be they totally got no control, okay? Those that with you, we actually got minimum of control, but also, of course, they will have concerns that, like what I shared just now, the two concerns are, okay, to who, okay? And also, how about the proceeds, okay? And whether the loved one is able to be taken care of in a better manner, okay? Whether its fairness is there or not, okay? To the one that situation for with you. Then after that, buy sell is everything, okay, according to black and white. It's that simple. All right. So these are the things that we actually throw them back. Okay. Then after that, we also further let them analyze in this, give them some scenario. If let's say Mr. A really passed away without a will, okay. So Mr. A 30% share, it will be distributed, okay, according to the probate time. The letter of administration time. Okay. It may be ranked from 6 months and above, okay, depending how fast they actually able to execute the LA. Okay, so for the spouse, you will actually get 10%. Okay, for the children, you will actually get 20% out of it. Okay, then after that, we also further give them a scenario. Okay, even though this will be applicable if a scenario without will and also with will. Okay, so first thing, okay, just imagine we are it could be come to a situation where certain shareholder spouse is actually working as housewife. Okay, then they might actually don't know how to handle the business. Okay, this will be the first circumstances that we actually putting in mind. Okay, and also as part of the ethic plan, scenario planning as well. Okay, so because imagine a business that with 10 years experience, you cannot have a new beginner to come and handle the whole thing. It's really barely impossible. So that is also creating a conflict as well. Okay. So second, if let's say the wife don't know how to handle, you might actually talk to the children. Hey, your shareholding is better than me. Okay, you got 20%. Why not you take over your father business? So this could be one of the situations where the children will listen. Then after that, he actually give up his own career. Okay, but we are not sure whether the children will be in the same industry or not, or whether the children have enough experience to handle the business. All right. So all this, they will actually come to the disagreement with the other shareholder. Okay, because of the different background, you have to understand when you actually at someone that with employment mindset, okay, couldn't understand someone with business mindset. It's a totally different kind of program. Okay, so that's why this can come. This can be a very big issue. Okay, when it comes to a certain stage. Okay, then after that, the second part with that, okay, when the family members is really frustrated because they cannot get into the business, okay, they might tend to sell off the business. Okay, But one issue they will have is they don't know how much value, because they might not know how to study the accounting record for it. So that could be one. Okay, then they could be, okay, some shareholder might be actually offer them a lower price. They will be at loss. Okay, or the worst case is they might actually find someone that is competitor to buy over the business. So this is will cause to another issue, which is you will have serious interruption. Imagine if, let's say, worst case scenario, they really find a competitor to come in as a shareholder in this business. Will you wanted to carry on your business? It's somehow difficult, right? Because you will have culture shock. Okay, and for those that in business owner, I think they will understand this. Okay, when you have culture shock, okay, if let's say I am one of the shareholder, okay, I could actually let's close down this business. I set up my own business.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be the worst situation that could be happen to this Sendian Berhad. Okay,
So
so
this one right here is the worst case scenario lah. That
yeah, correct. So because to be frank, no one wanted to actually leave the company if let's say the company doing so well. But if let's say you have the company that got so many hee hee hoo ha every day, it's like you can't even focus to bringing in income. It's just like the pandemic suddenly come and everyone cannot focus on work. It's the same
yes,
situation, right?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yes, correct. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on. So then with that understanding in mind, we actually give them some proposal. Okay, we should actually split into two portions where we have a personal ethics planning, and second, we also will have a business ethics planning. Okay, let me understand. Okay, this is actually to actually segregate. Okay, because in this case, we actually quite straightforward that they wanted to handle with the same group of shareholder. Okay, with this intention, that's why we actually split it into this manner. Okay, so then with that, let us look into the personal estate planning first. Okay, first, what we can do is, okay, for individual shareholder, okay, we can actually put their selected asset classes, like for example property, okay, car, okay, investment, okay, safe box, okay, into a view. Okay, and for those that able to use it by channel to the beneficiary using nomination method, okay, which is insurance and also KWFP. You ask them to do so, okay. Of course, for those that are Muslim clients, okay, for whoever is listening as Muslim, okay, if let's say you wanted to do a Hima Amana, okay, you can actually applicable for ASB and also double haji, right? So with this, okay, they can actually put in the their names, okay, the desired beneficiary, okay, or you even can actually view out to your charity body for this. Okay, so this is for first part of estate planning. So second part, okay, is for personal estate planning will be private trust. Okay, for this case, okay, for I use some example. Okay, like for example, if let's say for Mr. B and C, they have a minor children that they wanted to take care of the long term of the education funding. Okay, they can actually use the arrangement of private trust. Okay, and in the event of the total permanent disability, okay, comma, critical illness, and also missing, because in terms of will and also nomination is only cover that. The rest of the triggering events is actually not covered. Okay, that's why it makes sure that the family members able to enjoy the long term, okay, assurance, okay, where the income can be continued funding them. So that could be one of the arrangements. Like for example, like Miss D, okay, what she can actually have, because she got no second generation, but what she can actually do is she can actually, okay, make sure that, okay, during her time of retirement, okay, if let's say she wanted to go into the nursing home, okay, she can actually use the private trust to do arrangement on her living maintenance after retirement, or even in the event of the critical illness happens, okay, or comatics happens, okay. So
Okay.
this will be private trust, right? And also when it comes to business buy-sell arrangement for this case, okay. So what we have to do in the first case is, okay, we have to come up with the company valuation first, okay. But this one you can actually there's actually the two common way. One, you can actually set it is the fixed price, okay, whatever amount that you like, as long as it's agreed by all the shareholder. Okay, or you can actually look out for your own accountant to look for the formula, whether it's net asset value or asset value, okay, or your contributions, okay, this kind of method that you can actually opt out. All right. And also with that, they will need to execute a buy-sell arrangement. Okay, upon triggering events like what I said just now, comatose, okay, comatose, critical illness, death, and also missing, okay, could be retirement as well. Okay, so the best part of it is they can actually sell at a good price, and also for those that receiving can actually receive at the pre-agreed ratio. So this is the benefit of how come they why they actually need to have a buy sell arrangement as one of the alternatives for this. Okay. Then with that, okay, so this one I explain a little bit more. Okay, the actual situation on the buy sell arrangement. Okay, during lifetime, okay, first like this company, this Berhad, they already have the buy sell agreement. Okay, they which all shareholders agree upon on the valuation method and also the buy sell terms and conditions. Okay, then where else? Second thing they have to think of is where the funding coming from, because to buy a share you cannot use air, there's no value. Okay, the money
Okay.
should have come from somewhere. Okay, so that's why you can actually use your own funding. Okay, or you can even have a protection plan, which is very common. Okay, and also you can actually use the loan. Okay, and or any periodical payout, like for example 3 years installments. Okay, it's just like our credit card installment kind of arrangement, but everything need to be spelled out in the buy sell agreement. Okay, with all that confirmed, then that's why they have to come up, okay, trusted power of attorney and also buy sell agreement, okay, which is absolutely assigned to the trustee company or even individual trustee, but usually we will advise trustee company because at least they are actually a party which is they can be independent. Okay, that's why you don't have any might not have many hiccup, okay, or trustworthy kind of issue. Okay, then in this case, okay, in any triggering event happens, okay, Mr. A is no longer around, okay, they will just need to inform the trustee company, where else trustee company will actually claim the proceed from the funding, okay, whichever that they may need, okay, to pay off to the Mr. A beneficiary. Okay, and also at the same time, trustee company will also transfer the share from Mr. A to Mr. B, C, and also Miss D. Okay, right. Let me put this into this case. Okay, so whereas this case they are okay for this case study. In fact, all of them also they agreed to use the lowest cost method. Okay, which is life insurance policy. Okay, so that's why they already need to have an insurance policy, each of them. Okay, if possible to it will be better from the same insurance company so that they won't have any conflict of interest, and also in terms of the clause. Okay, because each insurance company they have different clause in the claim process, and also the definition it could be different, okay, from different insurance company, right? And also the three agreement that we said earlier, five-star agreement, trustee, and also power of attorney, and also assign it to the trustee company, okay, during lifetime, right? Then this will be okay. It just okay. After this, okay, if let's say the triggering event happen, okay, this will be the real situation. Okay, so the trustee company able to claim the proceed from the insurance company, right? Then the beneficiary from Mr. A, the spouse, and also the children able to get the money. Okay, because
Okay.
in this case, yeah, Mr. A shareholding is 30%. Okay, it could be actually distributed, okay, 10% each of the to the each of the remaining shareholder. That's why Mr. B got 35%. Okay, Mr. C got 35, and also Miss D also will have 30% share of it. Okay, so this is the ideal situation. Okay, but of course during the implementation, we actually find out that one of the what I call that the shareholder is actually not insurable. So what he can actually do is he have to use his own cash But of course, if let's say you use the insurance policy, it could be 30 cents. You're paying 30 cents, but you're getting $1 coverage. Okay. But here, if let's say you cannot do anything, that you cannot actually insure, okay, that you got a medical condition, okay, then you got pre-existing illness, okay, because all your hard work that you're putting in, okay, you gain weight, okay, you gain stress, okay, all these illnesses will come in and your spare part is no longer so good anymore, okay. Could be the worst situations, okay, then
So,
you got no choice.
what do you mean by not insurable though?
Okay,
What do
not
you mean by not
insurable
insurable?
is okay, whenever you submit insurance application, okay, the insurance company is actually rejected your offer,
Okay.
okay, because okay,
Oh,
you cannot you for example, you got diabetes, okay, you got hypertension, selected illnesses that you are not at the condition to buy any insurance
I see.
anymore, or
Okay.
you are reach certain age. Also, that also is the common problem
Okay.
that
I
should
just
be
know about
happening.
this. This is new for me. This is new for me.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
But if let's say you're using your cash, then it will be $1 to $1. It's like more
Okay.
expensive to compare to the rest of the shareholder. So, but in this case, he got no choice because he's the only one, so he has to agree with that. Okay.
Okay.
Then with that, we also sign the buy-side arrangement. Of course, the buy-side arrangement have to got some minor changes because of the using different funding mechanism. Okay, and the trustee and also power of attorney. Okay, that's where they will need to assign to the trustee company. Okay,
Okay.
so that's all for my side. Okay. I think
Okay.
it's actually quite common. I just want to urge those business owners that don't think when you are too young, okay, on the buy-sell arrangement, because sometimes when you wanted to do something, then the terms and conditions again based on your own condition is not permitted, then you might need to bear a lot of financial costs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Which this is something that we try to help the client to avoid.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Good advice, Felicia. So thank you to Felicia for talking about her case study on private limited company or Sindrian Berhad company. So yeah, basically what Felicia talked about just now is about what is the estate planning
Yes.
steps that can be done if the company, private limited company, have several shareholders. So, okay, without further ado, our third panelist, Ms. Eyvonne,
Okay.
will talk about her case study on family business.
Okay, thank you, Kai. So on my part here, I already share my screen. Okay, so on my part, I will be sharing on what can be done for a business owner who have a family business on his estate planning. Okay, so oh, sorry,
Eyvonne,
you
can
cannot
you
see my.
try? Yeah, can you try
Okay,
to share your screen again?
okay, sorry.
All right. Okay. There they are.
Okay, all right. Okay, so on my sharing, I will be sharing on the business owner who have a family business. So let's look at some of the background of this Mr. A. Okay, so Mr. A is a family business owner of 3 generations. So Mr. A, along with Mrs. A, they both have 3 children, 2 sons and 1 daughter. Okay, and each of their children has already got married and also have their own children. So this makes a family of 3 generations. Okay, so what is Mr. A's wishes and concern? So Mr. A, his wishes is to, that he wish that his business can preserve at least up to the 3rd generation. Okay, and then all of his children can play a role in the business, and he also wants to be independent, when he retires, and can live comfortably with the wife, so he doesn't have to be dependent on the children. And another thing about Mr. A is that he's a true believer of education, so he wants to fund for all his grandchildren's education to university. And the fifth one is he wants to build a harmonious family. Okay, and then Mr. A also want to provide his wife sufficient living expenses when he is not around. And Mr. A is also, he loves to do charity work, so he wants to continuously do his charity, even though when he is not around. So let's look at the concerns of Mr. A. So Mr. A, afraid that disputes may occur among the children when he is not around, especially three of the children are all involved in the business. And then he also afraid that the children might sell off the business which he has worked so hard for the past 30 years. Okay, and also he afraid that his children may sell some of their shares to outsiders, then his business would fall into the hands of a third party. Okay, so these are the wishes and concerns of Mr. A. So let's look into the assets, personal assets of Mr. A. So over here we can see that Mr. A has some fixed assets. Okay, his residential house, and then he has a villa where his family will go for a retreat during holidays. And he has three other investment properties and a luxury car. Okay, and on the liquid side, Mr. A has his EPF funding. Okay, and he has some cash like savings in saving account and FD. And Mr. A also invested some in the share market, unit trust, and also some gold investment. And he also owns a few insurance policy, life insurance policy. So these are the personal assets of Mr. A. And on his business side, Mr. A is the co-founder of his business, which is a private limited company and solely owned by Mr. A. And he also play a role in the as board of directors and managing director currently. Okay, so let's look at what are the tools we can use for Mr. A. So here we have basically two parts that Mr. A need to address, which is his personal estate planning and business estate planning. So let's look at his personal estate planning. So these are the three tools that normally, for Mr. A, he can use it, like writing a will, do a nomination, and also a private trust. As for his business estate planning, what Mr. A can do is either a family business trust or a foundation, which earlier Vivian has already shared with us. Okay, so on the personal estate planning part, let's look at, when he writes a will and do his nomination, what can he do? So as what Mr. A wishes, okay, the residential house currently they're staying, he will give it to his wife under the will. Okay, and all his three other investment properties, he will give each of the property to three of his children under the will as well. Okay, and his EPF, he has nominated his wife as the beneficiary, and all his not all some of the money in his bank, like savings and FD, he will will it out to the wife. Okay, and also some of the money in the bank, he will also do a lump sum charity to some charitable organization. Okay, so the other thing that Mr. A can do is on a private trust, which earlier we have also shared with you guys. Okay, so Mr. A as a who set up the trust, he's called a settler. Okay, so he can put all of the asset which is not under the will. Okay, whatever other assets that's not written in the will, he can put under this private trust. Okay, for example, the balance of money in a bank, all his investment in the share, unit trust, gold, his luxury car, his villa, okay, and all his insurance life policy. Okay, so this will be held and managed by a trustee. Okay, and this trustee will manage it according to the trustee. So inside this trust deed, Mr. A can, put down some conditions. Okay, during triggering event of such, okay, Mr. A will, the trustee will execute according to the trustee. Okay, so and in this private trust, Mr. A can, fulfill some of his wishes, which is, for example, he wants to, fund for his grandchildren's university education, so he can set up an education trust here. And also, he wants to be, independent during his retirement and live comfortably with his wife. So this trust can, fulfill his wish to, maintain his living expenses. Okay, and also in case both of them need to get medical treatment, okay, the money inside the trust can also pay for their medical. Okay, and he also, he want to continuously do his charity even though when he's not around. So under this trust, he can set up a charity for a certain charitable organization by doing like a lump sum amount, or every year to donate certain amount to the organization. And when this private trust is set up for more than 5 years, it is creditors protection. It has creditors protection, which means it is creditors proof. Okay, and also Mr. A can also use this trust as to settle some of his debts. Okay, so this is the another thing that Mr. A can do on a private trust. Then on the family business side, okay, so the estate planning that I will show you an example on family business trust. Okay, so Mr. A, as a settlor who set up this family business trust, he will appoint a trustee. Okay, this trustee will administer whatever that is written in the trust deed and also his letter of wishes. Okay, so according to whatever is written here, the trustee will administer and execute for Mr. A when he is no longer around. Okay, so when they set up this family trust, business trust, the trustee will appoint the board of directors. Okay, so basically the trustee will not be the one that manage the daily management of the business. So it is the members of the board of directors which are appointed to be, managing the family business. Okay, so when this the business, get declare dividends and all that, it will pay to the family business trust, and which is owned by the family business. And according to that, the trustee will distribute all these dividends, income or allowance to the beneficiary. And in this case, if Mr. A is still around, he will be also the beneficiary of this family trust. And when he is not around, then the family members like his wife or his children or grandchildren will be the beneficiary. So in this structure, there is a protective committee that will overlook, they represent the beneficiary. They'll overlook the whole thing on the trustee, how the trustee is managing. Is like a watchdog, okay, to make sure that the trustee are doing their job. Okay. So these are the things that Mr. A can do. And the other thing, okay, so from there we can see that many of Mr. A wishes can be fulfilled when he set up the business trust, the private trust, and his will and do the nomination. Okay, and also some of the concerns can be addressed also. Okay, so over here. I just wanted to share, if let's say Mr. A didn't, plan his estate planning well, okay, what are the possible impacts? Okay, so first of all is fragmentation of his shareholding, because in the event of absence, when Mr. A is not around and he has done nothing on his asset planning, his shares will then pass on to his family according to the inheritance law, which is the Distribution Act. Okay, and this may result eventually fragmentation of the ownership in the business, because it will go to the son and the daughter. But what happens if the son pass away? Then it will go to the daughter-in-law. Also the fragmentation of the ownership. Then the other thing, financial difficulty for the family, because in the event of death, all the assets of Mr. A will be frozen. Okay, and the third one is serious disruption to the business because like just now I mentioned, when we pass away, when our assets are frozen, so there is discontinuity of transferring the share. Okay, so because of this freeze period while waiting for the probate and all that. Okay, then last of all, of course, is loss of control. For example, if Mr. A passed away without a business trust, okay, the children may be lost in business direction. They which may also affect the conduct of a business. So when eventually the third generation inherit the business, and this may there is no clear leadership or succession rules to follow, and it may cause misunderstanding or even disputes, and eventually some of them might want to liquidate the assets and their portion and also exit the business. That eventually it cannot be, the business cannot sustain for many generations. So these are some of the possible impacts if Mr. A did not do a proper planning for his personal as well as his business estate planning. So that's all on my sharing. Pass back to you, Kai.
Okay, thank you, Eyvonne, for the sharing on the second case study about family business. So, yeah, right now we have our Q&A session. So, yeah, we'll see our questions from the audience first. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, the first question is how is a testamentary trust created?
I will take this question. Okay, testamentary trust is provided for in a last will by the testator, the person who write the will, and he appointed a trustee. A trustee is a company or even a lawyer or an individual to manage the fund in the testamentary trust during the trust period until the beneficiary receive the money or take over. So in the period of time, it depends how what sort of timing that they stay in the will. Yeah, this is how it works. How is a testimony trust created?
Okay, all right, thank you, Vivian. So, okay, we have the second question here. Okay, can I do buy-sell arrangement without my partner consent? If no, what I can do to protect my loved one interest? So this question is about buy-sell arrangement without their partner consent. What do you think about this?
Sorry, I mute myself.
Oh, okay, all right. No worries,
Yeah, I think
Felicia.
okay, it's actually through the. Can you hear me? I think my line is not really good.
Yeah, you are a big
Can you hear
star
me now?
just now. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, boleh.
Now better. Okay. So I think it is actually very difficult to do a buy-sell arrangement without all the shareholder concerns. Okay. So, but the worst case scenario is okay. We can actually look into your personal estate planning to see what can be done in order to cover this part. Okay, to maximize the coverage. Okay, so that your loved one at least have a better protection in this case. Okay, so this is the best that we can actually do for the shareholding in the private limited company.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we have another question in here. Okay. Okay, what is the minimum value of asset to set up a private trust?
Okay, I will take this question. Basically, there is, it depends on what the objective of the private trust you set up. For example, if you wanted to set up an education, trust, so you have to know, how much exactly is the education fund needed for all your children or for your grandchildren. Okay, if let's say it is the purpose is to set up for medical treatment purpose, okay, then you need to, at least have a lump sum of amount which is sufficient to pay for, in case of critical illness, how much is the amount that needed to be paid, then that is the amount to set up. But if you ask me what is the minimum lah, okay, it's just a reference. It could be 500,000 to set up a private trust, whether it is in insurance or whether it is cash money or other assets.
So this one, for the minimum value, is only applied for Malaysia, right? Or is it the same for other country? It depends on the
As
region.
what I have known in Malaysia lah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Guys, you can still ask your questions here. We have another 5 minutes. Towards the end. So okay, before we end our sessions tonight, thank you again, guys. Thank you to our 3 panelists, Felicia, Eyvonne, Vivian, for sharing with us tonight about the estate planning for business owners. What is the best exit strategy for your business in the event of your death? So yeah, so this is our last webinar series about estate planning. So if you guys, if our audience here have further questions about estate planning, no matter it's about your personal estate planning or today we talk about your business estate planning, don't be shy. If you are shy right now, don't be shy to actually DM us, message us at our Facebook page here. And yeah, just ask us about your estate planning questions. And one of our financial planners here, maybe Vivian, maybe Eyvonne, can answer them for you. So okay, yeah, thank you everyone for listening with us tonight. I hope that the not so near future we can make again in our next series for webinar session. So yeah, thank you again to Eyvonne, Vivian, and yeah, I think we lost Felicia. I now maybe it's line. So okay. Yeah, okay. Hi Felicia. It's okay.
Sorry, my
Okay.
connection is really bad.
Okay. Yeah. Just to recap. For tonight is our panelists talk about estate planning for business owners. So Vivian talk about the general idea of estate planning tools for business owners, and then Felicia talk about the first case study for the private limited company. What if your company have multiple shareholders? What can you do? And then our third panelists Eyvonne talk about the estate planning for
Family business.
for family business. So thank you again, and don't forget to follow our social media page at Advantage. At Advantage Malaysia, or you can just email us at hi@advantage.com.my, and visit us at our official website www.advantage.com.my. So thank you guys. Thank you for listening with us tonight, and I hope you have a good week. Bye everyone.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night. Stay safe,
Good night.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Good
Yeah.
evening.
Stay
Right.
healthy.
Bye.